In this demonstration, we are going to show how you can create an embedded object within your graph. And this object is interactive. That is, the object is linked to the information that is provided in the worksheet. For instance, you'll see here the equations for total revenue as well as for the total cost. Note that the total revenue is computed as revenue per unit, which is $25, times Q, the quantity produced. The 25 in this equation is a variable, meaning if the information in the template changes, for example, the revenue per unit changes from 25 to 30, this change is automatically reflected on the equation. So this is what we're going to demonstrate, how to construct an interactive object that is linked to the worksheet. To do that, we will be using the concatenate function, equals concatenate. All right, let's create the equation, the concatenated equation for the total revenue. So down below in here, I've already created that. So it says equals concatenate, open parenthesis, double quote, TR equals close quote. Now, I am embedding the TR and equal in double quote because this portion of the equation is merely a label. And then I have comma. After the comma, you can create the variable. So originally I had B2 in here, which points to the cell that contains the revenue per unit. But since I want to control the image B2 or the revenue per unit to always show two decimal places, I used the function called fixed B2, comma, and then 2 decimal places. And then comma, and I have the double quote, star, Q, close quote. And that part is reflecting the star or asterisk Q in this equation. Enter. Okay, now, so it says 0 here. So something is not right. And that is because I'm referring to B2 and it should have been B5. Okay, so that is the equation that is created by the concatenate function. Now for the total cost, I will also use the same function, concatenate, and then double quote TC equal double quote to create the label, this part of the equation, comma, and then fixed B7. B7 is the fixed cost cell, and 2 represents the 2 decimal places, comma, and then you have the double quote plus double quote for this portion of the equation, comma, B6, which is the variable cost per unit, comma, double quote, asterisk, Q, double quote, for the final text in this equation. So that would be function over here. To embed these equations onto the graph, we'll have to do a couple more steps. So I'm going to delete this equation for now, because after you have created these equations using the concatenate function, what we are going to do next is we will copy these 2 equations and make sure that when you copy that you have enough length such that if the equation is too long and if it goes beyond over this highlighted area, that will not be reflected on the linked object. So make sure you have enough room for extra spaces. All right, so the next step is to copy. You can use the Control-C to copy. And then somewhere in your worksheet, you select the paste option. And here's the important part. Select the linked picture icon. Okay, so here it is. Here's the linked picture, which is linked to these 2 equations. So now let's see how that object works. I'm going to change the fixed cost from 2,000 to say 3,000. And I would expect this to change as well as this. All right, indeed, the fixed cost change. So I can now move this object onto the graph. So let's do one more test. Let's change the revenue per unit from 30 to say 25. So this $30 in this equation should change to 25. It did. All right. So that's how you create an interactive object in your graph that is linked to your worksheet.